Hi, this is Ethan from NoSleeplessNights.com, and in this video I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the C-Crane SoftSpeaker 3 and giving you my initial thoughts on it. And I'll also listen to some music and a podcast through it so you can decide whether it's going to be the right one for you or not. Now, I used the SoftSpeaker 2 for a long time. It was one of my favourite pillow speakers, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the built-in amplifier and the sleep timers work on this one, and also the increased size. So without further ado, let's pop over to the table, unbox it, have a play with it, and you can listen to it and decide whether it's going to be the one for you or not as well. So on the back you've got some of the main features. We've got the voice music switch, which is going to be interesting to see if that actually affects the voice or the music. On-off and adjustable sleep timers, larger, softer cover. Well, we'll compare that to the version 2 in a minute. And then the stereo signal is actually combined for true mono sound. And then we've got the fact that it has a battery life for 80 hours on the voice mode, which is a really long time. But you need those two AAA batteries, which I do have handy. So let's open it. So here's the SoftSpeaker bit. Let's compare the size first. I've got the Pillow Speaker 2 over here, and yeah, it's definitely bigger, which is nice. It means it should be slightly more comfortable under your ear if you're going to put it between your ear and your pillow. Let's get that out of the way for now. Undo this little clippy thing. It's good to see how long the cable is, and it's pretty long between the speaker and the amp, but I'll get to the bed later and test that as well. And then we've got an even longer cable, which means that you can have your audio device really far away, whether that's your phone or a radio or whatever. So let's pop a couple of batteries in here. And put the casing back on again. So now I've already... that's interesting. So this is the battery testing thing. So I have roughly 2/3 battery left. Now that's really good. I might, even if I don't use this in the long term, I might just have it in the living room ready to test my batteries when I need to. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's just plug it in and get listening to some music, which I'm sure is what you're most interested in. Okay, sorry about the jump there. I've literally just had a critical failing of my electronical devices. My Samsung has totally destroyed itself, perhaps because I dropped it on the floor the other day. I just thought it was the screen that was cracked, but apparently the 3.5mm pin isn't working either. So I've gone and got my backup device, my iPad, and I've also had a play with the Pillow Speaker just to give myself a better idea of how it works, so I don't waste any more of your time watching this video. So let's play some music then, and you can listen to it. At the moment, I've got the Pillow Speaker about 10 centimeters away from my lavalier microphone, if you're someone that is into microphones and wants to know the exact sound. Now this is without the amp and on the lowest volume. The device is on maximum volume though. So let's turn the volume up on the actual amp. Not the amp, the Pillow Speaker control rather, and let's turn the amp on. If I turn the volume down again, I'm personally really quite impressed with that sound quality with bassy music. A lot of pillow speakers that I've tried really suffer when you have music with bass in them. They tend to distort, but that one seems to hold its own. So now with the tone button, which is also an interesting one, I've discovered that if you have it up, it's for spoken word, and if you have it down, it's for music. It does consume more power according to instructions, but it also just gives you more of a richer sound. Now on the other side you've got, as I said, the battery tester and the volume button, which is just a simple slider, which is nice, easy to use. And then you've also got the button here, the red button, which is for two things I've discovered after playing around with it and understanding the instructions better. Firstly, if you press it, it will turn the device on or off. And if you hold it, you can set the sleep timers, so 1, 4 or 8 hours. And also the lights will shine if you're testing the batteries, as I seem to be very excited by. So let's listen to a podcast now. Okay, I should put it onto the spoken word tone. And again, it's 10 centimeters away from my microphone. Now this is with the microphone, the amplifier rather, on, and the volume on maximum. And it's also maximum volume on my iPad. There you go. If I turn the amplifier off, it's quite soft. Now the interesting thing with this one is that you can definitely hear the voice spoken. It sounds quite clear when it's coming through it, but you do need to put it to your ear or have it going through the pillow to hear the best case scenario, I think. I've already gone and tested it in the bedroom underneath the pillow, ready for the next part of this video, but I can tell you now it sounds pretty good. But hopefully you can get a gist of it listening to it through the microphone there. So really I think the most important thing is to test it through a pillow. So let's move through to the bedroom and I'm going to try it out with different pillow positions and I'll tell you exactly what I think of it. And considering how dense this pillow is, I'm quite impressed how much I can hear that. That's great. Now the other option you have, because it has that soft casing, is just to put it right next to your ear. Ooh, and that's just too loud. Turn the amplifier off, turn the volume down. And that's great. I'm not sure if I want to spend all night with it directly under my ear, but I could imagine myself lying on my side and just placing it next to my head. That's very comfortable. And if I wanted to, I could lie on my back, I suspect, and just kind of have it next to my ear. Yeah, and that's really soft, so I could quite happily lie like this for as long as it took, I guess, until I fell asleep and forgot where I was. So let's see if you can hear podcast through it then, because music is one thing, the sound of someone speaking is another. Let's listen to Philip Pullman's Book of Dust. Since I've got it here, we'll start here. And that's really clear. It does surprise me how clear the sound is of people talking through the speaker. It's really great. And I didn't even need to turn the volume up or put the amp on. So let's pop it under the pillow and see what that's like. Again, I don't think I've got the amp on. No, I haven't. Can I hear it through this dense pillow? Not quite. I need to turn the volume up, I guess. So I can hear it, but it's very muffled. I think with people speaking and this denser pillow, I'm going to need to turn the amplifier on. Let's find out. Yeah, there we go. So okay, I can hear it. And I think I've got reasonably good hearing, so it's not an issue for me, but it does sound slightly muffled compared to the music. So I think probably if you don't have the world's best hearing, or you're listening to quite a quiet podcast, you might struggle, especially if it's a dense pillow like this one. But for music, it doesn't seem to matter how dense the pillow is. So let me try that with a slightly smaller, thinner pillow. Okay, and that's really clear now. So it does seem to be that with just listening to the radio or a podcast rather than music, the density and the thickness of the pillow is going to make a difference. Whereas with music, it doesn't seem to. And yeah, I can hear that absolutely fine. So yeah, overall, this pillow speaker has definitely passed my pillow test. I'm really quite impressed with that. So there you have it, the C-Crane SoftSpeaker 3. This is one which I think is going to be really useful if you want to listen to music quietly in bed without disturbing your partner, but you find headphones uncomfortable. As I said during the unboxing, I really like the fact that it has that amplifier if you just need to boost the music a little bit. However, it's kind of annoying that it doesn't come with batteries and that you have to use batteries to make it work, but it's also nice that you can use it without batteries. As I said, with the pillows, it can be a little bit difficult to hear it through a thick pillow, so you need to get the right balance of the pillow thickness and size to the volume of the music that you want to listen to, and that's going to depend on your hearing somewhat as well. But overall, I like the fact that it has that soft casing as well, so you can put it on top of the pillow if you want to. That's just like an extra user-friendly element to it, which many pillow speakers don't have. So on balance, I think this is a really good option, better than most pillow speakers that I've tried, if not the best one. Thanks again for watching. This is Ethan from No Sleepless Nights. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep in touch with me and see future videos and reviews that I do of other sleep products.